It's your boy JTMM, aka Just 10 More Minutes, aka the Freakin 10, back again with another Sabaton video. This time we're back with Father. Now this is one that when I was deciding what I would cover last week, I was looking around and I said, okay, hey, this Father showed up. Didn't even see the timing that it was, just released that same day. And then once I reacted to Attack of the Dead Men, someone said, hey, they just released Father, you should react to that. And so I'd already agreed to do Sparta, Shiroyama, and Midway. And so Father was going to be my next one, and here we are. Now, from what I've seen, this is about the father of chemical warfare. I've not watched the history of this yet. I did see that that was posted as well. So I may end up watching the history and recording to that and reacting to that separately. But I'm very interested to hear this one. This is only a couple of days old. So with that being said, let's switch it up and let's take a listen. Love the entrance.
Russia, young men with great ambitions rise. So who can tell me, who can say for sure which one will win the Nobel Prize? It was a golden age for science. The Kaiserreich would hold the key. And as the conflict came and tensions rose, the manifest of the 93. Haberbosch, the great alliance, where's the contradiction? Fed the world by ways of science, till the Lord of Saint. Father of toxic gas and chemical warfare, his dark creation has been revealed over no man's land, a poisonous nightmare, a deadly mist on the battlefield.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it there. They really channel a dark energy on this one, and I think it was smart to do that just because of the topic, right? Chemical warfare is just extremely dark for someone to want to use that against humans, right? Just mental. So I like the dark tone, and I love it when he uses that, just that I call it the powerful speaking voice in song, right? Where you're using just almost like this monotone, but you're projecting it as you're singing, and it's just so powerful. And he does such a great job with it. The lyrics themselves, again, long ago in Eastern Prussia, young men with great ambitions rise. So who can tell me, who can say for sure which one will win the Nobel Prize? So I just got through doing Midway, and I noticed that the rhyme scheme was different back in 2010 when they wrote that one compared to now, where I see the rhyme scheme of kind of a line, and then you got your rhyme line, a line, a rhyme line. And that's what they've done here, right? So young men with great ambitions rise. So who can tell me, who can say for sure, who will win the Nobel Prize? It's the golden age of science. The Kaiserreich will hold the key. As the conflict came and tensions rose, the manifest of 93. So you've got that key 93 rhyme with those lines in between. It's kind of the style he goes to now that I'm seeing. Haber-Bosch, the Great Alliance, wears the contradiction. Fed the world by ways of science, sinner or a saint. Father of toxic gas and chemical warfare, his dark creation has been revealed. Flow over no man's island, a poisonous nightmare, a deadly mist on the battlefield. And chemical warfare is, no laughing matter at all. We've seen videos of it with the toxic reaction. Talked about it with the Attack of the Dead Men, and they were, with chlorine gas, right? And what it did to those soldiers, basically melting them from the inside out and causing, the guys to run away. To come up with that type of weapon, knowing you're going to use it against humans, it's dark, and they've done a great job of portraying that. Let's see where it goes.
Perversions of ideals of science, lost words of alienated wife. And in the trenches of the Western Front, unknowing soldiers pay the price. And on the battlefield they're dying, and on the fields the crops are grown. So who can tell us what is right or wrong? That's all morality alone. Haberbosch, the great alliance, where's the contradiction? Fed the world by ways of science, Sinner a saint. Father of toxic gas and chemical warfare, his dark creation has been revealed. The war in no man's land, a poisonous nightmare, a deadly mist on the battlefield. Father of toxic gas and chemical warfare, his dark creation has been revealed. The war in no man's land, a poisonous nightmare, a deadly mist on the battlefield.
Very cool.
During times when there's peace, he belongs to the world. During times when there's war, he belongs to his place of birth. What's coming next? From your inventions, we wonder where does it end? Who can foresee? See what will be.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop right there. And I was talking about how dark it was, right? And the next line obviously kind of plays that. Perversions of ideals of science, lost words of alienated wife. And in the trenches of the Western Front, unknowing soldiers pay the price. And on the battlefield they're dying, and on the fields the crops are grown. So who can tell us what is right or wrong? Maths or mortality alone? Or excuse me, morality alone. Haberbosch, the great alliance, where's the contradiction? Fed the world by ways of science, sinner or a saint. And I repeat the chorus. And there was the most interesting part of this is because it was interesting. They kind of went into that guitar part, and I'm like, oh, it doesn't say guitar solo here. And it kind of felt like it was leading up to one, and then boom. During the time when there's peace, he belonged to the world. And then they went right back to that kind of single guitar, and then back during the time when the wars, he belonged to his place of birth. So it was interesting the way they broke that up. And I haven't heard them do that before. So I like them trying different things. They've had a lot of tempo changes and a lot of chord progression changes. That sometimes clicked and sometimes necessarily didn't, I thought, in a weird way. It's just different from them. So I don't think it was bad. It's just different. So and then they go into the guitar solo, which of course always brilliant. Where will this lead? What's coming next from your inventions? We wonder where does it end? Who can foresee, see what will be? That still applies today, right? I mean, chemical warfare hasn't changed. We've seen it used, mustard gas and all of these different chemical weapons against people all over the world. And, a bio attack is a bio attack, right? It could be an illness, it could be a gas, it could be multiple things. And to see this kind of, the poisonous gas and the father of this chemical warfare, had they not developed it, where would we be? What is next? And I know this relates more to at the time, but just, it does paint a bigger picture. So let's let it finish out. But I really like this one. This is very fascinating.
The great alliance, where's the contradiction? Fed the world by ways of science, till the order saint. Father of toxic gas and chemical warfare, his dark creation has been revealed. The no man's land, a poisonous nightmare, a deadly mist of the battlefield. Father of toxic gas and chemical warfare, his dark creation has been revealed. The no man's land, a poisonous nightmare, a deadly mist of the battlefield.
Great intro, great ending. I love the piano ending, and then the piano intro. This one's really cool. I'd be interested to see what they kind of do with the visual from this. So it just repeats, right? Haber-Bosch, the Great Alliance, where's the contradiction? Fed the world by way of science, sinner or a saint. Father of toxic gas and chemical warfare, his dark creation has been revealed. Flow over no man's land, a poisonous nightmare, a deadly mist on the battlefield. And then they repeat that. Very well done. Even with a lyric video, right? So well done. To give the image of both dark and light, with the mixing glasses and such, or the potions, whatever you would want to call them, the gases and such. I'll say it again. What would have happened if he wouldn't have come up with that? Would have been a longer time frame? Would it still be developed? You don't know. It's one of those what ifs. The way they tell their stories, again, if you go back and listen to kind of the chorus, and I'm gonna see, dark creation has been revealed. So right here. So listen just to how they reinforce it, right? Because they're kind of going in and they're like, where's the contradiction? Fed the world a way of science, sinner or a saint. And then they kind of just changes, dun, dun, dun. And it's just.
His dark creation has been revealed. The no man's land, a poisonous nightmare, a deadly mist of the battlefield. Father of toxic gas and chemical warfare, his dark creation has been revealed. The no man's land, a poisonous nightmare, a deadly mist of the battlefield.
All right, and then fade back with the piano. I like that melody with the chorus, right? Dun 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 dun. Yeah. And such a way of putting it, right? A deadly mist on the battlefield. And we saw what it did, right? I go back to Attack of the Dead Men. Just nasty, nasty stuff. Very cool. I'm glad I did this one. And I'm glad I didn't kind of watch, the history of it. The only reason I said the father of toxic gas and chemical is because, when I pulled up the lyrics, I looked over and I saw the father of toxic gas. And I was like, oh, okay. That makes sense. So otherwise, I've no clue. But with that being said, let me give you my shameless plugs. If you like the video, leave that comment, hit the like, and if you like the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Normally I would have switched the screens, but I didn't this time, and go to the outro is what I called it on my stream deck. I want to leave the visual of that, right, and this battlefield with the green mist, just because of the topic, and it's still a topic of today, of chemical warfare being used against people, both in war and against the innocent, and it's just nasty stuff, you know. When you wake up in the morning, just try to be the best version of you, and just try to be happy and nice. It's the only way to say it. You know, that's the, while they're not necessarily talking about today's events in their songs, it's just a reminder of where we've been and how cruel war can be. And I don't think, when we get up in the mornings, I don't think for most of us, we just want a better today, right? And a better tomorrow for our kids. So, just wake up, be the best version of you. That's all I can really say. But with that being said, I will switch it up for one last final thought. And that is, this was an amazing song, another one by Sabaton. Can't wait to see the next one. I'm kind of bummed that they were here in Houston this past week and I didn't realize it. But I wouldn't have been able to go with my wife's injury and such. So no harm, no foul, maybe next time. But until then, my friends, look forward to more Sabaton. I've got plenty of requests sitting in. I've got, so far, let's see, I've still got, let's see, Art of War, Cliffs of Gallipoli, Hearts of Iron, and so many others that I think I saw here. So please, let me know which ones you want, and I'll get those out there. But until then, it's JTMM. Always remember, my friends, if someone asks you to stop what you're doing, don't ask for 1, don't ask for 2, don't ask for 5. Someone asks you to stop what you're doing, always ask for just 10 more minutes. I'm JTMM. I'm out.